What kind of daughter forgets her own mother on Mother's Day? That was the first question that echoed in my head as I stared at the blank screen of my phone. No message, no call, not even an emoji. Just silence. Why did Sophie ignore me? All day I waited, hoping maybe she was just busy or had a surprise planned. But the day came and went. Empty. It wasn't until the next morning that the door creaked open and Sophie casually walked in. Not with flowers or a card, but with an old, grease-stained cookbook and a mop. Was this some kind of cruel joke? She dropped them onto my kitchen counter like tossing trash, shrugged off her coat and muttered, "There. That's your Mother's Day gift." I blinked, frozen. She kept talking like it was the most natural thing in the world. "You're retired now, so I figured you could use some practice in the kitchen. Cook us something nice on weekends. This new mop? Totally your style." Was she being serious? Or just testing how much more I'd tolerate? Her voice was light, casual, like my existence revolved around serving her. But my mind wasn't here. It was still stuck on what I saw the day before. Sophie's social media posts had told a completely different story. Why did she post pictures of expensive Tiffany boxes? For others, not me. Diana, her mother-in-law, was smiling with a necklace that sparkled under the sun. Linda, her stepmother, posed on a balcony with the same blue box and a caption full of hearts. But me, the woman who carried her, raised her, sacrificed sleep and dreams for her, I got a mop, and a joke wrapped in disrespect. I finally found the strength to ask, "Is this a joke?" She rolled her eyes like I was some needy stranger and said, "Do you even know how expensive necklaces are? If you really want one, buy it yourself." Then she leaned in, and her words turned sharp, slicing through whatever warmth remained in my chest. "My mother-in-law gave me a great husband. Linda makes sure I have warm soup when I work late. Who I choose to be good to, that's my business." Was this really my daughter talking? The girl I used to tuck in at night? The child who once drew me Mother's Day cards with crooked hearts and misspelled love notes? When did she become this cold? And just like that, she turned around and slammed the door, leaving me in a kitchen filled with silence and betrayal. But I didn't cry, not in front of her. I sat there, staring at the mop and the old cookbook, wondering how a bond that once felt unbreakable had turned into something so disposable. I thought of all the years, all the birthdays, all the nights I waited up just to hear her key turn in the lock safely. And now, this. What had I done to deserve this kind of love? Why do some children act like love is a debt instead of a memory? I asked myself that as I stared at Sophie, standing in my kitchen like a stranger in a home she didn't build. Her words echoed even louder than the silence she brought yesterday. "Is this a joke?" I had asked her, not because I expected an answer, but because I didn't want to believe what I was seeing. She scoffed, like my pain was nothing more than a passing inconvenience. Was she always this heartless, or did I just never see it before? "Do you know how expensive necklaces are?" she said, arms folded, voice sharp. "If you really want one, maybe just buy it yourself." That was her answer. That was her way of justifying why her mother-in-law and stepmother got Tiffany jewelry while I got a mop. She wasn't done. No, she wanted her words to wound. "My mother-in-law gave me a great husband," she said, chin raised. "Linda makes sure I have warm soup when I work late. Who I choose to be good to, that's my business." When did love become a transaction to her? Her stare was cold, her lips tight with judgment. Then, like I had offended her, she slammed the door and walked out, leaving me to pick up the pieces she never looked back at. Was I supposed to chase her down and apologize for not being enough? I didn't move. I didn't cry, at least not until she was gone. The cookbook sat on the table like a curse, its pages yellowed, its corners bent. That and a mop. That was her tribute to a lifetime of motherhood. 3 days passed, no calls, no apologies, just silence, until she showed up again. Her eyes were teary now, her tone softer, but her smile was fake, plastic. She pointed at the cookbook and laughed. You forgot already? Yesterday was Mother's Day. I'm your sweet little angel, remember? Why did that feel like a threat wrapped in nostalgia? I said nothing. She sat down like she belonged here. Okay, so the book's a little old, she said, flipping pages, but it's got handwritten recipes. Maybe it'll help. Your cooking's kind of plain anyway. Then came the real sting. You're not getting any younger. Time to find a hobby, right? Cook something. Drop off meals at my place. Give yourself something to do. How can someone speak to their own mother like this and still expect to be loved in return? She smiled after that, not warmly. No, it was a smile that assumed I would accept everything, again. But I didn't. Not this time. How many times must a mother be humiliated before she stops calling it love? That question still hung in the air long after she left. If you've ever felt unseen, unappreciated, or used, you're not alone. This story isn't just fiction. It's a reflection of so many silent mothers. Subscribe for more powerful, raw, and emotional stories that speak the truth others are too afraid to tell. Comment below. Have you ever given everything and received nothing in return? Next chapter drops soon. Hit the bell so you don't miss it.